Mats, congratulations on your 4th stage victory. How did you time your effort, and did it help you to pass here once before?
Yeah, the timing was, I don't know, it's the instinct in the race, and I had to open up on the right side close to the barrier, so I went a bit earlier than I really wanted to, but on such a hard uphill final like this, sometimes it's okay to go early, because everyone have burning legs the last 100 meters, so yeah. And then of course it's nice to see it once, then you know what you're going into and how the peloton is moving around on the last final straight, so it was definitely nice to have seen it before.
What was the idea with Matthias Vacek going away before?
Trying to win the stage with him, he deserved it so much also. And if it would have been a little bit more hesitation in the peloton, they would have him and Bardet would have had 25-30 seconds, and then I'm pretty sure they would have made it to the finish line. So this was ideal, he grabbed the chance of winning the stage, and then we could sit behind and let other teams keep a really high speed. So yeah, ideal situation for us.
4 stage wins. Tadej Pogacar had 6 last year. You are different kinds of riders, but do you think 6 is reachable?
Well, right now I'm just happy with this one and adding another 50 points to the Cyclism'Actu jersey. So let's see how it goes. It's still far to Rome, but now I'm just overwhelmed about winning again. It's really one insane Grand Tour this. So yeah, wow.
Well done.
Thank you.
Mats, congrats for this 4th win. And when you start the Giro, you was already one of the main riders of this Giro for what you achieved in the past. The question is, do you have the impression that with this Giro, with this victory, with all it's happening, you are doing another step up in your career, entering in another dimension, or not really?
I don't know if this Giro is making that difference. I think this whole season have been really, really good, and I think this winter I took a good step in the direction of being one of the top riders on what I'm good at. I wouldn't say I'm within the best 5 in the world or whatever like this, but I would say I'm within the best 5 riders in what I'm good at. So I think all the hard work this winter is paying off now, and with a really good plan from my coach and the team, with being good in the classics, and then really good in the beginning of the Giro, and then hope that we can manage to keep the shape high until Rome.
Next question.
Hi, Mads. I know you mentioned a little bit about having to maybe go a little bit earlier than you wanted to in that final. With a final like that, where it's kind of so all out for the last part, how do you manage like when you want to go, where you want to use your effort, and what would have maybe been an ideal finish for you there?
Yeah, in the end it was ideal as it was today, but you can't really manage it. You have to see the openings, and I had a ride on the left side, and I was a bit on the right side of the wheel of Wout, so I had to open my sprint on the barrier, but I also saw the group started to move a bit to the right, and in that moment I couldn't think too long or hesitate. I had to open the sprint, and I saw the 200-meter mark, and then I opened, and then I hoped it was enough to make it to the finish line. I also know from finishes like this, the last 100 meters, the legs are burning a lot on everyone, and you're not really making a big move the last 100 meters, no matter where you come from.
Press room, Sala Stampa.
Congratulations, Mads. I'm not sure if you're aware, but you're now the Danish record holder in most stage wins in a Grand Tour, in one Grand Tour. But my question, however, is now that you've won 4 stages, you're looking pretty comfortable in the Maglia Ciclamina. If someone told you this before the Giro, saying that this would be your balance status after 13 stages, the disappointment of not going to the Tour must have somehow eased off at this point, no?
In the end, it was not such a big disappointment not going to the Tour. Of course, I would have loved to try to go for the green jersey there, but I also understand that the team have many more riders than only me. And with the parcours and the Tour, I understand why they bring Johnny there. And the moment the team took this decision with me as well and Johnny, I was pretty keen to come here to the Giro and get as much as possible out of this, trying to get a pink jersey, as many stage wins as possible, and also aiming for this Ciclamino jersey, which I already tried 2 years ago, but failed due to sickness. So, sometimes a small disappointment is good for something else. And right now I can't complain. It's an insane Giro d'Italia, and I think I will enjoy my summer holiday and watching the tour with a cold beer in my hand and wishing all my teammates best of luck.
Press room, sala stampa.
First of all, congratulations, amazing ride. When Vacek took off, can you honestly say that you hoped he would keep away and made it to the finish? Because a lot of guys within Lidl-Trek just said this week, it's just like a shame that he didn't win with the monster shape he has this Giro.
Today I would have given this victory away to Vacek if possible, for sure. This kid, he deserves so much to win a Grand Tour stage, and all the work he have put in to be good for me, not only here but also in the classics. It's really crazy that I said it a lot of times with my teammates. They also traveling 200 days a year. They're also on training camps. They also train really hard to help me winning. So guys like him really deserve to win because he can actually win stages in Grand Tours as well. So today I would have loved to see him make it to the finish line.
Premier.
Mads, which in particular has been the main changement in this winter? Among us? No, which has been the main changement in this winter that you did, if there have been major changements mentally or in your physical preparation or in some aspects?
We put on some hours of training. I would say we maybe put on 10-12% hours of on top of what I already trained before. And then also now me and my coach, we are that far into the relationship that we know each other really, really well. So he can really fine tune every day down to the smallest details to see, if the body is tired or should we push it or not. And then of course the whole team is growing. Everything is getting more professional. It's marginal gains. We're looking on aerodynamics, on clothing, bikes is getting lighter and so on. But main thing is really the amount of training has increased.
Press room, sala stampa.
Tom Moorstrap fuori scena.
It's quite often that you have some sprints against Wout, but it's rather rare that you have to sprint against Del Toro. Were you surprised by him today, and what can you say about his sprinting abilities?
This is the first time I'm sprinting against him, and we knew he would be good on a final like this. It's pretty steep uphill, and he's a good climber. But we also saw from the rest of this race that he have a good kick, and especially when it's uphill. So there was also one of our thoughts this morning that this could also be a final for the GC guys. Also Primoz, he's also with a good sprint, and Ayuso as well. So in the end we had to take the day like any other sprint and hope that I would still be faster than him when it was uphill like this.
Press room.
Da qui è tutto.
Premier.
Maybe a quick one about Giulio Ciccone. You're the main card of the team for or placement in ECC or stage wins in mountains. How do you see him from your point of view, in your opinion? His shape, his possibilities in the rest of the Giro?
Giulio is in a really good shape, and I think this combination of having the two of us here, it's really good because it's less pressure on Chico performing every day. Like this, we can share the pressure, and he knows that he have a really good team around him, and he also knows the days that doesn't fit me, we are there 100% for him. And then he's more calm. You know, what I see from Chico in this Giro is he's relaxed, and when we have the possibilities of taking it easy in the peloton in the back or something like this, he's really trusting us, and he's, you know, letting the fight go in the front and so on. So he found this really fine balance of taking it easy and you know, pushing the mental barrier and also the physical one when he needs to. So I think it's a new Chico we see now, and I think he's a main contender for a really good and top GC in this Giro.
Any more questions? Press room.
No.
Thank you,
Thank
Mads.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.